they hardly know about the monks. They hardly know about what they do. And after much reflection, I realized that you can't really blame the mainstream Catholics. The reason is very simple. Because of their life of simplicity, in fact, silence is among the strata of what they are and the essence of what they do. So you won't see them broadcasting their progress or positives in any community. But I think it's important that we use 2 minutes to encapsulate who they are, what they do. But I think it is important to introduce them first so that you know who you're dealing with. I will start with the abbot himself.
Praise be to our Lord Jesus Christ, both now and forever. Amen. I am humble because I am not too close. I can't say my rank never come closer to our Abbot General. So I take your permission to make the introduction. Thank you, sir. Thank you, my Abbot. He is our Abbot General, Don Bernardus Peters. Since he became the Abbot General of the Cistercian order in the whole world, what it means is that he is in charge of more than 200 monasteries across the world, both male and female. And he has been traveling, as our tradition has been, all over the monasteries we have in the world, both China, Japan, even China, where you don't have identification. He has to sneak in to see his children. And what brought him is supposed to have come before now, but Nigerian issue couldn't give him the visa then. So we had a general chapter where the work and the labor of our father, Chairman Sir, and his family, the monastery has been championing and putting his investment there. Like one day I told him, he's the most foolish man. Sorry, I mean, please, and I tell you the truth. But, you know, in the eyes of the world, he doesn't know how to save money in Dubai. He was putting it in the house of the Lord. But the Lord knows is the wisest. Remember the last reading, last Sunday. No man born of a woman is better than John the Baptist, except the one in the kingdom of heaven. This is it. So we are not trying to flatter you, but God knows. You know it, you read it between the lines. So, having done that for a long time, of course, initiated, mother, excuse me, did everything. May he rest in peace. May Lady Comfort rest in peace. So our General has said, wonderful. For one person to be doing this, he has to see him. He has to say, well done. And that is why we are here. Then, on my left, is his secretary, Don Kasant, from Indonesia. He is living in the Generalate in Rome with Abbot General and his team, working to control, to take responsibility of the monasteries in the world. So, Don Kasant, you're welcome. Yes. And with us also is Don Marius Okoye. Is the abbot of Our Lady of the Angels. You're welcome. So, myself is Father Maria Wesin Amadi. I am the one that is made the servant of the foundation, where Chairman has been putting all his efforts at Our Lady Waterchain, which is Gate of Heaven. I believe our boss will say something like that too, which is a wonderful name. Akokwa. So he's on his way, has been here since 1st of December. So meeting the monasteries we have in Nigeria, about 5 of us, the monasteries. So he's rounding off to leave and go back to Rome. And he said, refine the part. I have to come and see Mr. Chief Chairman. Thank you, sir. So I think
you didn't introduce the host.
am I the one to do that?
prior of the local leader of the Gate of Heaven. Okay, I'll do that. But, like I said, their order is self-effacing. They're not given to praises. They're given to simplicity. They're given to quietness, like I said earlier, aura, which is prayers. For some Catholics who are here, devout Catholics as that, who don't quite know what's going on with monks, particularly the one within our precepts, is that they follow the Benedictine. I hope we all know about St. Benedict. And I would like to quote, so that we'll put it all in perspective here. The guiding motto is, they are truly monks when they live by the work of their hands. You extrapolate that a little bit. Another understrata is, enough for life, prayer, hospitality, and charity. Never excess. Which really bedevils all of us. If we can live life simply, I think it was Tolstoy that said, how much land does a man really need? So you can see that on the basic principles of the existence of God of life, they epitomize that simplicity. So these are their guiding principles. And then they work with the Diocese of Olu, for example, the Botticelli, the Gate of Heaven in Akopa. But they are not necessarily under the bishop. They work in consonance with each other. They assist each other in furtherance of the work and the Lord's vineyard. So that is a little distinction there. But in sacramental issues, of course, the bishop would, of course, know that there's a Catholic order that is operating within the environment. And this, they are called the Trappists. It is, there was a name, the Cistercian, I think it's a Latin word, but in general terms, they're known as the Trappists. And anywhere you go, you mention it. It's prayer, it's labor, it's simplicity, it's sustenance through the works of your hand. I mentioned the excesses before that we did all of us. But in that simplicity, it's all in the service of God and the community. As for the person we're celebrating today in essence, not that we're not celebrating everybody, but he has lived the life of trappers all his life. And he's now in charge, overseeing the activities of the various monasteries around the world. The difference between your main church, as it were, is that whatever the people in Akoba will do, they will of necessity seek permission. If you noticed, with casual observance, before he could even introduce the adult, correct, he had to take permission. That's the kind of discipline, that's the kind of order that they personify. And going further, I said earlier that it is oral prayers and then labor. They sustain themselves. In the communities they operate, they use agriculture as a bedrock, so they produce the things that they eat. And not only that, the excesses are also given to the community in and around them. No noise, no fuss or show, no accolades. This they do very, very quietly in the service of the community and in the service of God and the universe. But in doing this also, I took time out to look at the leadership style of the abbot himself. And that is where I crave his indulgence, because what they are doing, what the trappists are doing, may, in fact, the solution of the problems Nigeria is having, and particularly most developing countries, might lie if we can find the correct interface between what the trappists are doing and our local communities. They are helping already, but like I said, in silence, in solitude, in quietness, in supplication to God. But when I took a cursory look at the leadership style of their board, may I crave your indulgence to just mention a few. So the Enactors is known for, one, a listening and pastoral leadership style, respectful of the autonomy of individual monasteries. So he doesn't browbeat anybody. He will come in interface with you, listen, just the way he's coming, all the way to Akoko, despite our challenges, despite the difficulties. Another aspect of him is that he emphasizes an authentic contemplative life rather than institutional expansion. We all know that even in business, there's what you call classical overtrading. You overexpand, you don't have the right mix of management, you don't have the right mix of product. Before you know it, you decelerate and you might lead to bankruptcy. So his leadership style is quality, interfaces, a listening ear to make sure that that discipline, that fundamental tenets by St. Benedict is personified. Another emphasis is that he encourages Trappist monasteries such as the Akokwa Gate of Heaven, Porta Celli. By the way, there are different interpretations and pronunciations of Celli in case you read it out. But this is a classical, Exerciatius Latin definition of Celli. So you might see that Kelly, Carly, but it's Porta Celli, the Gate of Heaven in Akokwa. He encourages monasteries around the world, including that one in Akokwa, in Imo State, to remain deeply rooted in prayer while responding humbly to local realities. And this is where that critical juncture comes in, and where the appeal this evening is going to throw down the gauntlet, not in war terms, but perhaps in metaphysical terms. Because what you are doing already lies the seed of salvation for us. And what is that seed of salvation? In terms of in physical terms, is food security. We can't feed ourselves. But one of your tenets, apart from aura, which is prayer, is that by the work of your hands, you feed yourself. If there's a way we can transcend that locality and not a silent solitude, you don't want any force, you don't want any people in the villages, the mothers, there's malnutrition, there are difficulties. Perhaps if there's a way we can couple and paste what you are already doing, that might lie the tenets and the seeds of what might emancipate us. And I can give a personal example. As a young banker, I won an international Rotary scholarship to go and live in the state of Nebraska in America. The scholarship involved living with Americans in their home, do everything, and all that. And America, that part of America happened to be an agrarian area. So they just farm what they can feed themselves, and they have excesses that they did the rest of the world. And I remember, and I was on the board of the bank's economic magazine, and we're talking about IMF conditionalities, where, listen, you go to open your market to everybody, you know, it's all market forces, it's all this and that. But the Americans were farming in what they termed or encapsulated as food security. So when I raised up my hand and asked a question in one of the three conversations, and I said, why do you teach us IMF conditionality to open your market? But here you're subsidizing your farmers. I can still see the man clearly in that lecture. I'm talking, is it 1996. The man turned around and said, Dan, we are not going to leave our food security to you guys. that food security is not part of geopolitics, not part of economics right now. So my hope and prayer that the airport is graciously visiting us for the first time is that we appeal to him. We appeal to the generality of the order. That what you are doing might lie the seeds of salvation for perhaps over 90% of Nigerians. Because if we can copy and paste what you are already doing, that means every community in Akowa, in Mbanasa, in Idato, can essentially feed themselves. And then where some of us might come in, there are very, very senior people here, is that there are high-yielding varieties of these crops. There are ways we can short-circuit the process if you approve, so that the trappist can begin to help us to feed ourselves. And by extension, extend our spirituality consonant with the fact that we're able to feed ourselves. So ladies and gentlemen, apart from describing what the trappist do, this is an appeal. I said I will lay down with a most reverend apostles visiting us. And ladies and gentlemen, they've been in existence since 1098. For those that want to read up further. So we're talking about, thank you very much for listening. I'm going to say it somehow. Anyway, most of us know who it is. This is just part of something on the continuum that he does, community development, building schools, helping the church, helping businesses, building up people of tomorrow. We're in the house of Chief Tolu EZENNA, the Jelle of Nigeria, who happens to be my classmate in secondary school in another Catholic school called Christ the King College of Nature. Ladies and gentlemen, Chief Tolu EZENNA, philanthropist extraordinaire. But he's not alone, because if somebody gives him what we call wahala, Tony will not even see road, not to talk of being successful to do things. So he has his better half, and as they say, what God has put together, they actually, I don't know where, Mrs. Tony EZENNA is also here. They're a team, because if it brings those expenses, and she says, remember, we need to invest around there, Tony might look the other way. So while thanking and introducing Tony, he also introduces better half. Ladies and gentlemen, yes and yes. My priest, and secretary, the airport. I thank all of you, and I know why you are here. You are here because you want to share the blessing I'm going to get today. So, I have to invite my friends to come. They are all successful managers. Because if they happen to understand that the airport general came to my house and I did not invite them, it would be a big issue. So I invited them and they were so happy, and I'm so happy that they're here. So you're welcome, my friends. I don't have much to say other than the monastery. We happen to start the monastery because of the pressure, and not simple pressure, serious pressure from my mother. Because she was the type that normally goes to homes every time, and she stayed there for weeks. So she begged me that I have to do something about it. I thought it was a small business. You know what we every year, because we are at 10th
mass here every January. And after the mass, we have to have a meeting with them. And I'm always scared of that meeting because it will tell me that we still need more land. So I thank God that finally, now that the monastery has been approved, that we can now rest and there's no more land issue. So the Aboriginal, I'm very happy to invite you to my house. And it is my desire to remind you the customs of my people, that when you visit somebody in his house, you have to invite the person also to your own house. So I have to be waiting for your invitation to come over here to visit you. And I thank God that you went to the East with all the serious issues here. You survived and came back here. And in the same way, my family and myself were praying that you will go back safely to home. So God will lead you safely, and when you get here, you told them about the man we met that you are going to invite also to come to home to visit you. And thank you so much. There was one time when we had a meeting, during the time of Father Lawrence. So during that meeting, I just looked around and said, only God know what you people are thinking about us. Because I believe, because of the profession you have chosen for yourself, that you'll be looking at us as people who have missed the road, who have decided to wallow in the world. So, but I think that at the end of this journey, most of us, especially me and my wife, we will join you in heaven. All of us. See, people, I normally tell people that it starts in this world. Why I decided to carry my chair over here is for a reason. It's for a reason. So that I will be moving closer to the holy people. So because I know they are holy. Gradually, I will also follow them to heaven. So I thank all of you that came here. I'm sorry that we delayed voting because of the Nigerian factor. They were supposed to arrive by 1 o'clock, and their flight could not leave till 2:30. So, but because of their desire to be blessed, that is why you start here up till now. And they asked me to inform you that you are not going to leave this place without blessing us. Thank you so much for coming. If she's not behind it, forget it. Forget it. Abraham boy, many of you person know Igbo. Abraham boy no nisha. E wakata nwa agbawa boy gị na madam adọha na nwa. Kedu egbo me? I'm just talking on their language. The MC prays to their wife, Lady Elizabeth, and she behaves like Elizabeth of Hungary. If you give her this microphone, she tells you some of the doctrines, a real deep one about Catholic Church. It's not joking. That's God bless you. I wonder how you listen to other women and still you come back and say, this is what we will do with my husband and family. This is a wisdom. God bless you all. So, Chairman, sir, you have said it all. I think I can give our board general to respond and prepare for the blessing.
Dear Chairman Anthony, dear Lady Elizabeth, it's for me really a joy to be with you today and to be a guest in your house. Not only to bless you, but certainly to invite you to come to Rome. If you are in Rome, you are always welcome, and we will do everything to show you a beautiful city. The traffic in Rome is almost the same as in Lagos. So I think you will feel at home on that part of the story. And now, first of all, I really want to thank you. I'm impressed visiting Akoka at this time to accept them officially into the Cistercian order. That was a beautiful ceremony we did. You spoke about, it was spoken about the 900 years of history. I told the brothers also, look, we have a beautiful old tree of 900 years standing in the garden. And sometimes there is that wonder that there is a new flower on that very old tree. And the youngest flower is Akoka. And I have seen the beauty of it. And the beauty is shaped by both of you, by your love, by your support. And on behalf of the brothers, on behalf of the Cistercian order, we are so happy and grateful that you spend so much to that place. Not only the money, but most important is your love and your attention, and to keep those guys a little bit on track with your advice, with your fatherly support, because that is also necessary. Therefore, we thank you from the bottom of our heart. And the monks have prepared something for you, a little gift for both of you, to say thank you. And I think, as it is said, Porta Coeli, you built already that gate of heaven. So you are already in the gate of the heaven. So, and the rest will come by itself, so don't be afraid of that. So thank you for that. And I'm also happy to see all these friends of you here. It shows also something very important for me. We cannot walk alone through this life. We need each other. We need friends. We need people who support us. And therefore, this is a wonderful sign and tells me a lot who you really are. So thank you for that. And yes, of course, I will certainly bless you with all my pleasure. So, because the Lord be with you, and also traveling through Nigeria, so it was not always easy, but I am amazed by the beauty of the country, by the vitality of the people, and meeting a lot of young brothers and sisters in our monastery, capable people who really want to go forward and to build something to help this nation to come up. And I take that vitality with me back to Rome, and I will tell everybody what I have seen, because it's not only the problems, and all around the world we have problems, but it's always easy to talk about problems. And therefore we often forget to talk what is the beauty, what is good. And, I have seen so much good in Nigeria, and that really impressed me. But I'm very grateful for that, for all of you, that you have given us that example. So thank you, and may God bless you all. Thank you. Before ending, that's true. You see, I have also support. I need support, otherwise I forget everything. No, it's by thanking you, we also thank your mother who died recently, and we have prayed already in our Papa during this celebration, especially for her soul, that she may rest in the peace and the presence of the Lord. But our thanks to you is also our thanks to her. So, and certainly God will reward her abundantly in heaven. So she is maybe the first one who went through that portacelli. Yeah? So I congratulated the monks by choosing that name for the monastery, because I like the image of the portacelli, the gate of heaven, because we all need to go through that gate. But don't forget, God is the first one who comes to that gate to receive us and to welcome us. And so, again, thank you for everything. And thank you for your hospitality. For all the blessings you are giving us through human beings, through our friends that we need in our life. We thank you especially this evening for Chief Anthony and his wife Elizabeth, but we also want to remember the mother who you took to you and who is now in your presence. Please, Lord, send your blessing to all of us here today, and may you bless us all and keep us safe. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Pues